about my world record breaking Ultraskate setup. The board is the Platypusher. We have in front the MK space truck. In rear we have the MK axle. The wheels are seismic alphas. In front mint LDP width alphas. In rear downhill mango alphas. I've used seismic bearings and riptide bushings. The Platypusher is a super low and lightweight setup. It's a hybrid deck that is made for pushing and pumping. The front has 12 degrees wedge with a 4 centimeters of drop. The rear is a 0 degree rear with a little drop. The cool thing about the Platypusher is that it can be set up with 100 millimeters wheels to the same height as 80 millimeter wheels. As you can see here and here, I have risers under my truck. I have risered the truck about 10 millimeters, so this means I can lower the truck's 10 millimeters, making it the same height with 100 millimeter wheels as with 80 millimeter wheels, or I'll use a 5 millimeter riser and I can set up the deck the same height with 90 millimeter wheels. The cool thing about the Platypusher is that the front is kept relatively narrow. It even has some little wheel wells. With this you can pump the Platypusher wheel by free even with 100 millimeter wheels and soft bushings. The Platypusher is the newest development in the MelonenKacke house. It has been in the prototyping stage for 2 years. This is currently the V2 prototype and it has been skated for so many kilometers that now after the UK Ultraskate I can finally say yes, we can release this deck. It is proven durable and performance is also approved of this board. The Platypusher is ideal for pushing with its low height. Since the board is reinforced to the rider's weight, it doesn't bottom out. The board itself is low, but it rarely scratches over bumps. I can go over very thick bumps without scratching. The great thing about the Platypusher is that there are no balls sticking out. So you won't hit the balls when going over the bumps, but only you will cause a little scratch on the board. This makes skating a lot safer and you don't have to be aware of your surrounding and where you're skating that much. Due to the 0 degree truck, pumping works incredibly well with a setup that is this low. I can pump efficient and fast over the long run, but I can push comfortably as well. At the UK Ultraskate, setting up the new world record, I skated 425.5 kilometers over 24 hours on this setup. The UK Ultraskate is quite hilly. It has a 2 kilometer lap and it goes up and down quite a lot. So it starts with going a little bit up and then you go downhill where you have to tuck in an aerodynamic position. Afterwards it goes up very lightly with later on increasing into a steep hill going uphill. As you can imagine, having a setup this low really helped me going uphill. Also, the lightweightness of the setup helped me to save energy. In the MK space truck I used 4mm distance spacers, a 75A fat cone board side and an 80A barrel road side. For me the MK space truck is very stable. It self-centers really well, especially with the 4mm distance spacers. So I could push stable for a long time at the Ultraskate, and even when I was tired I still felt fully confident while pushing. The relative soft bushings still give me a lot of rebound while pumping due to the 4mm distance spacers. The 4mm distance spacers give rebound earlier and give more rebound, so it is really efficient for pumping. I've been skating this truck this complete season. Normally with other trucks where the pivots were down, I had a race truck and a truck for training. With this I could just use my training truck as my race truck, as over time the pivot doesn't really wear down. So I did not have slop at all for skating on the Ultraskate. So I don't need a race truck at all. On the 0 degree axle truck I used 2mm distance spacers with 90A tall fat cones. The concave bushing seat makes sure that the axle moves more up and down and less sideways. So the concave bushing seat reduces the sideways slop that a typical 0-degree truck in the rear in this shape has. Additionally, this small 0-degree truck is super lightweight. That was the thought behind this complete Platypusher setup. Normally in a hybrid setup you have a 20-degree rear truck wedged to 0 degrees. A complete 20-degree rear truck is really heavy, and with this lightweight truck I can save a lot of weight. The cool thing as well with having this option with the 0-degree truck is giving the opportunity to give different wheelbases. The Platypusher can be built different lengths, so I can even make it a little bit longer for whoever wants to have a longer wheelbase option. The cool thing as well is that when I have to go to the city or have a path with a lot of tight turns, I can just set this truck up with a shorter wheelbase option. With that I can make tighter turns. This is easier to maneuver around in a city with a lot of traffic. If I want to pump faster, I can just use the longer wheelbase option. This also pushes a little bit more stable, so this was my preferred option for racing on the UK Ultra. To make things really easy when going into the night, I did not want to have a light, ultra light in the hand or mounted to my helmet. I have a very simple light mount in the front, which is attached to a GoPro adapter. I can attach a light within 3 seconds on the longboard. It's super easy. That's how it goes. So while skating in the dark, I just snapped it on and I had light for the entire night. The great thing is that this is a bike light. On a bike you travel faster than walking, so you need a longer distance of light. So this is also needed for a longboard. So this way I had a long enough time of light on a long enough distance. I could see everything perfectly fine in the night. Let me show you the bike light attachment and why it is so easy to mount. For it I use just a simple bike tool. These are M5 screws and I just have to detach the bolts here. As you can see, the bike mount is attached with 2 simple bolts, and that makes it really easy. So it's not attached to the truck itself, so you don't have to remove the truck if you want to remove the bike light. You can just simply attach the bike light independently from the truck mounting. In the Platypusher here are 2 internal threads, and this gives you the opportunity to mount all kinds of things. One great thing that you can mount is Mudflaps. This here is a front Mudflap. As you can see, it has the same 2 holes as here. So it can be easily attached to the front of the Platypusher with only 2 bolts. And again, you don't have to attach it to the truck mounting. Let's quickly attach it to the board. You can even do this while skating. It might even be easier to do this while skating, as you don't have to hold the board in your hand. So, this is how quick you attach the Mudflap to the front. It's perfect. You have enough wheel clearance even for big wheels, so you can still pump. The Mudflaps themselves, they are very strongly made. It's not only carbon fiber, but it has a lightweight core to itself, giving the Mudflaps an integrity to not flap around too much. And actually, when going over rough pavement, the Mudflaps stay completely silent and they don't make any annoying noise. With the carbon fiber construction, they are very lightweight. This front Mudflap weighs around 80 grams. And this rear Mudflap weighs around 140 grams. And also here, it can be very easily attached to just simply 2 bolt holes. Thought behind the Mudflaps were, in case it's going to rain in the UK, which it likes to do, I can very quickly attach Mudflaps to prevent my shins, my calves, from getting too wet from the water, which is really annoying when you have to skate very long. You do not want to get cold from the rain, and this would totally help me out. Luckily, we only had a little bit of rain, so the Mudflaps weren't needed at all. In fact, even a rain jacket was not needed. But pumping on the wet pavement wasn't a great idea. As you can see, you can mount all kinds of crazy shit to your board. Here we have a middle finger. It definitely lightens up the mood. In fact, it even was on light because we put little lights in the middle finger, so it was shining in the darkness. these mounts you can get full creative. You can mount a camera, you could mount something to attach little baskets to, so you can carry something around. You can go crazy with what you want to mount to these mounts. And I think this gives the Platypusher a lot of opportunities, not only for racing, but also for touring. You can definitely train a lot, and it's very important also to prepare yourself for the Ultraskate physically. But mentally, it is also very difficult to skate the Ultraskate. You have to force yourself to continue. And the best way to do that is by having fun. So, having fun you can have in all kinds of different ways. For me, what always motivates me is cool things, like the cool potato artwork I have on my board, on my grip tape, and on my tricot, my race shirt. This is me as a potato. Why potatoes? Because I eat a handful of potatoes every hour at an Ultraskate, or generally when I'm skating. Potatoes give me a lot of energy, and I also find them very tasty. Let's talk about the flex. The Platypusher has a typical carbon fiber flex. This flex stops at a certain point and rebounds back. This is a very stable kind of flex, so for pushing it feels very direct and precise. Because the front and rear is integrated, the Platypusher is quite comfortable to skate. Normally with a platform setup you have metal brackets in front and rear, and they send a lot of shocks and vibrations into your body. But this dampens the ride quality a lot. Additionally, with carbon fiber we have reinforced this board against torsion. That's very, very important, because especially if you put torsions to the front while you're pumping, the board is twisting by itself. So not all energy is transmitted into the front truck. To save energy, you need a very torsionally stiff setup, especially in the front. As you can see, you have a very narrow rear. So you want this board to be durable, and for this it needs a special kind of reinforcement. We figured this out, and with this board is super durable and can handle about anything you throw at it. Generally, the Platypusher is a very universal board. The great thing is the adjustability in the rear depending on the course, the possibility to skate over about any bumps on the road, and the very low height. So this makes it not only good for competitions like an Ultraskate or a marathon, but it also makes it great for skating a tour, because you can skate whenever, wherever with this deck.